Welcome back to BST, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me on yet another episode. The MLB playoffs start today, so that means we have to do a bracket prediction. And then also, I wanted to talk about the AL MVP race. That is certainly a topic of great discussion. But let's start with the prediction. Baseball is a crazy sport. It feels like there's always an upset, a team that shouldn't make it as far as we think they should. And it all pretty much starts in the wild card round. 3-game series are extremely difficult to predict, because like one game goes wrong and then the momentum's with the team. And, you can see upsets when you have to play these wild card matchups. So for the Blue Jays, Mariners, Brewers, and Phillies, having the byes are huge. But let's start in the AL. Tigers, Guardians. The Tigers, they have been on quite the losing streak. At one point during the year, it was thought that they were the best team in baseball and they were going to walk away with the Central, and they lost it to the Guardians. So this matchup is definitely a hot team versus a cold team. But this one's tough. I don't know. Here's the thing. The Tigers have maybe the best pitcher in baseball in Skubal. He's pitched very well against the Guardians this year. I'm going to go Tigers here just because in these 3-game series, School picks you up a win, then you're moving on probably because that's just one win. You only need 2. So I think when you have a really good starting pitcher like that, it is huge to have that piece that can get you just that one win with the dominant pitching in these 3-game series. Moving on, Red Sox, Yankees. What a matchup. The scriptwriters did phenomenal giving us this one in the wild card. Recently just went to a Red Sox-Yankees game. I believe the Red Sox are leading the season series as well. Yankees battled for the AL East, weren't able to get it. It's a tough one. Red Sox, they got Crochet, obviously, probably the best pitcher in this series. He's going to take the bump for one game, similar to Skubal. I think that's a huge advantage for the Red Sox. But at the end of the day, Yankees got Aaron Judge. I trust their lineup a lot more than the Red Sox. So I am going to go with the Yankees to move on. Next up, Reds, Dodgers. I might get hate for this, but somewhere in here, I don't view Tigers, Guardians as that big of an upset. Somewhere you got to pick the upset, right? And listen, you can say what you want about the Dodgers. They won the World Series last year, but for about a decade now, they have made it a habit every couple of years to lose in horrific fashion early in the playoffs. And I'm not sure if this will actually happen, but guess what? I'm going to go Reds. I'm going to go the Reds in this one. Reds have a really, really good rotation. The Dodgers are stacked. Don't get me wrong. They are stacked, but if I'm going to pick an upset, it's going to be over the Dodgers, which it's happened before. We've seen it before, and nobody can say that hasn't happened before. It has. So I got the Reds moving on to face the Phillies. Lastly, in the wild card, Padres, Cubs, another great matchup. This one's tough. Historically, the Padres hitters have not hit good at Wrigley. And I believe all 3 games are at Wrigley, as they are for every home team in this. The Cubs, they took a big blow. They lost their starting pitcher. I'm forgetting his name now. Horton, I think is his last name, the NL Rookie of the Year. So that's a big blow. Their rotation is a little bit weaker now. He should just be out for the wild card, maybe the divisional as well. So that's a huge blow. The Cubs are going to need Kyle Tucker to step up, and their lineup. The Padres, they're stacked as well. I just like the Cubs, man. I think the Cubs move on to face the Brewers. Next up, in the division series, Tigers, Mariners. A lot of Mariner fans I know say this is the season. This is the season they get it done. They win. I don't disagree. I think what the Mariners have, like last year with the Mariners, what was it? It was like all season. They have the great pitching, but the offense won't come through. Now they got Cal Raleigh hitting 60 home runs, Julio Rodriguez bouncing back. Their offense is legit now. I don't see really a scenario where the Tigers beat them. So I got the Mariners moving on to the ALCS. Yankees, Blue Jays. The battle of the AL East here. Season series or their record was tied, I believe, and the division crown came down to the very end. I'm not a huge believer in the Blue Jays. That may be a hot take, and people may say, well, they're the 1 seed, but listen, the Yankees have been here before. I don't like them, but I certainly think they're going to beat the Blue Jays here and move on. I mean, Aaron Judge is just so good. And, of course, he's going to have to show up in the playoffs. He hasn't historically. He's going to need to. But, yeah, I like the Yankees to move on over the Blue Jays. Even though the Blue Jays got Shane Bieber and Vladdy Guerrero Jr., I just like the Yankees in this one to move on to the ALCS. In the NL, Reds, Phillies. Tough one. I really like that Reds rotation, but I don't think the Reds are going to make some championship series run. I got the Phillies in this one. Phillies, they took a big blow losing, what's his name? I can't think of the guy's name, but their starting pitcher who was really good. What was the guy's name? You know who I'm talking about. The starting pitcher who's good on their team. They lost him, but they still have a good rotation. So that is a big blow, but I still think they're certainly capable of beating the Reds. So they move on to the championship series. Cubs, Brewers. Brewers, I believe, are the best team in baseball by record. It's kind of crazy they continue to do this. I believe they have one of the lower payrolls in baseball, and yet they're still here. So I think, although this one's tough. I think, I'm going Cubs here. I think the Cubs go on a run here. Beat the Brewers to move on to the NLCS. In the ALCS, Mariners, Yankees. Is this the Mariners season? Can the Yankees make it back? Tough one. I'm going Yankees. And to any Mariners fan, I'm just using history on my side. The Mariners have not always performed the greatest in the playoffs, and I get it, Maybe this year is different, but I'm going to go with the proven team who has made it to a World Series and with the Yankees to move on. In the NL, Phillies, Cubs. Tough one, but again, that Cubs rotation is not great. Phillies rotation is much better. And you just look at the lineups. I like the Phillies lineup better. I'm going Phillies here to make it back to the World Series. Of course, they made it against the Astros in 2023, or might have been 2022. So yeah, they make it back here. In the World Series, tough one here. Tough one. I think I'm going Phillies. I'm going Phillies to win it all. The Philadelphia Phillies will be your World Series champion. How many total runs will be scored across the whole postseason? I don't know, like 300? Is that too many? I mean, let's do some math here. Do some quick math. So if you have 3 times 4 games, so that's 12 games, and then you say you have, so then you have plus 4 times 5 games plus, let's see here, plus, sorry guys, not very good at math here. Plus 2 times 7 games plus another 7 games. So 53 total possible games. And say there's, I don't really know what the average run scored in a game is total. We'll just say 10 to be generous. I'm going to go somewhere in the, we'll go 383. 383 for the total runs scored in the playoff. And there you have it. That is my bracket prediction. Phillies top the Yankees in the World Series. We'll see how that goes. Probably won't go well, but we'll see. Okay. Want to get to the highly debated topic of the AL MVP. Versus, it's Aaron Judge, it's Cal Raleigh. Who is the MVP? I will tell you right here. All right. The case for Cal Raleigh. 60 home runs. Most by a catcher ever. Absolutely insane. That's about it for Cal Raleigh. Here's the thing. If Cal Raleigh would have broken the AL record, which is held by Judge, I could see the argument. All right? I could see it. I could. He didn't. He had 60 home runs. It's happened before. Not by a catcher, but it's happened before. For Judge. So, we'll just go through what Cal Raleigh is ahead of Judge in. Home runs, RBIs, stolen bases somehow. I don't know how Cal Raleigh has more stolen bases than Judge. I guess both are pretty slow. What Judge leads in? WAR, which is huge because it's just a proven fact that WAR plays a big part in the MVP discussion because it quite literally means wins above replacement. Like that is quite literally, if you're talking most valuable player, Judge leads the league in WAR, not only, but he leads Cal Raleigh in WAR. It means he's more valuable as a player. Hits, Judge leads. Batting average, Judge leads. On base percentage, Judge leads. Judge leads. Slugging, Judge leads. OPS, Judge leads. OPS plus, Judge leads. Extra base hits, Judge leads. Let's see if we can even find anything else that he leads in, because I'm sure it's there. Total bases. Let's see. Intentional walks. Let's see if I can find anything else real quick. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to find anything else here. My point is proven. Judge has pretty much every statistic to his advantage, and even in the ones that Cal Raleigh leads, like home runs, Judge has 7 less, and he has like 25 less plate appearances. So there's that. He has 11 less RBIs in less plate appearances as well. So if Judge would have had the same plate appearances, what do the numbers look like? Who knows? We can't say that for sure. So I just think there's no way. Like a 1.144 OPS versus a 948 OPS, that is certainly. I mean, he's hitting 247, guys. Like, I'm sorry. Just because you hit 60 dingers and you're a catcher doesn't mean you're the MVP. It means you're a good story, And honestly, I would love if Cal Raleigh won the MVP. But if I'm looking at this now, there is just no way you can't give it to Judge, right? Like, I feel like that would be malpractice of the voting process to give it to Judge right now. I just don't see how that's even a discussion. I mean, he quite literally is better in every statistical category of hitting. And you can say Cal Raleigh is a good catcher, and he is. But, like, are we really about to give him the MVP because he's a catcher? Like, just because he's a catcher and the position is so, like, if the position is so difficult, then there should be MVP catchers all the time. Like, that's just not a reality, and I don't think that should be the deciding factor. At the end of the day, if Cal Raleigh gets voted as MVP, something went wrong in that process. Whoever voted didn't vote based on the statistics. They voted based on a story. That is just the fact. Judge is quite literally better at every statistical category. So I don't see how Cal Raleigh can win this one. But honestly, it's a tough race, and hitting 60 home runs as a catcher is very, very, very impressive. Again, I don't see it happening. But maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, that's my two cents on the Judge versus Raleigh MVP discussion. I think it should be Judge all day. In fact, I have money on it being Judge all day, so hopefully that hits. But yeah, I just don't see a way that Aaron Judge doesn't win the MVP. But that will do it for today's video. Wanted to get this out before the playoff games start today in the MLB. I'm not sure when the MVP is voted on. I think it's at the end of the season, so we'll see what happens when we get there. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, all those things. Check out TikTok. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.